welcome to another episode of Tom's Geeky Garage. Today, we are going to finish our Kenner Gunner Seat Ecto video. On the last video, we basically built the 3D slide to slide the seat out and kind of put all the components together. So in this video, we're going to finish cutting out the suicide doors, building the hinges, and finalizing the paint and getting it wrapped up. So let's get started. Alright, so on the last video, we basically built this mechanism that will pop the seat out. Right now I'm doing a little adjustments to it and I'm still tweaking it. I added a little bit more resistance. Now that I have this rubber band stop, I can actually add more power. So I've doubled up the resistance and then I'll secure the seat and all that good stuff. But the next step is to move on to the body. So we're going to move the frame out of the way for now. Now what we need to do here is we need to start cutting out this door and making the adjustments so we can add a hinge. So I've already 3D printed the parts to make a hinge. This is one part of it, and these will go on the inside, and basically I'll cut a little notch out about right here, and this hinge will be what swings the door open. Since the door needs to basically swing all the way open, we're going to see if these work. So I'm going to go ahead and start cutting this out. Okay, so I got the door cut out. Instead of using the Dremel like I normally would, I decided to go with I kind of made this contraption. So I didn't have one of these. This is like a razor blade, basically wired to a solder gun, because I'm pretty sure that if I were to use the Dremel, I would cut a really big notch, and I wanted this door to fit better than that. So I did the razor blade, and I've kind of cleaned it up. Obviously, this pillar here is really thin. I'm going to have to address this later. I'll probably just heat it up with a heat gun and put it back to where it's supposed to be. But the door is separated, and hopefully we can make it functional. So I'm going to start figuring out the hinge. Here's the hinge that I made. Here's the hinge. If I can get this to focus. But I made a little hinge, and this will be for the back door.
Alright, so basically just getting this thing ready, I had to cut out some notches into the door so the hinge would fit in the right spot, and I just super glued this all together and test fit the part, and everything seemed to be working out real well. Yeah, and the fins too. I forgot that I had to actually make the fins cut in half too to make it, because part of the fin is connected to the door. So here you can see me just trimming and cutting that fin, making sure that everything fits together right.
Alright, so we have the basic mechanism here. This is not screwed together yet or anything, so it's kind of still wobbly, but hopefully there we are. I've got to get this buttoned more accessible. I think I'll put a button up here or something, but I can't. Yeah, I just did it here. And this door needs to be more fluid, so everything pops out safely. So I'll work on the hinges and make sure everything works functionally. Like, I really want this door to open up all the way, which it's going to have to, so I'll work on the hinge on that. not so bad so far. I mean, I still got a lot more tweaking to do on the things, but I like it. You know, and it's not too much different.
Alright, now that I have that pretty much where I wanted it, I just went ahead and just did the paint. Painting, there's nothing special going on here. Just got some rattle can paint from the auto parts store and just gave it a base coat. I didn't do a gloss paint on this one since it's going to be kind of old and dusty anyways. I just went with matte paint. Same with the fins here, which I actually did gloss these, but I sprayed them afterwards. So.
Alright, so at this point we have all the parts kind of painted with our base colors. So we're going to go ahead and assemble all this together, and then we will do the actual aging and rust effects on the body and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and assemble this, and then we'll do the fun stuff.
Not really much to talk about here. Just basically putting it all back together. I think it goes together with just a couple screws. My driver door didn't seem to fit right. I had a problem with the driver door. The fins went on pretty easy. The cool thing about this Ecto is almost all the parts are reproduction, so the fins are all made from my own molds. All the doors are made from my own molds. When I got this one on eBay, it had nothing.
Okay, so now we have it all assembled. Now we're going to start doing some of the rust effects paint job. You know, normally in this situation, I'd want to do things the way Kenner would do it. And what Kenner would do is they would supply you with stickers of rust that you would just stick on the car, similar to the way they did with the slime spots from the Ecto 1A. Because manufacturing wise, they wouldn't want to spend the extra cost to actually have this airbrushed by an artist or a machine. It's easier just to print stickers and have you stick stickers on here. But for me, I don't want to spend the time photoshopping all the stickers and printing them out on sticker paper and doing all that. That's the way I should do it, but just to try to get this video done in time, I'm going to just airbrush everything on here. So, yeah, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to mix some rust colored paint, and I'm going to come in with the airbrush and airbrush areas with kind of a light dusting of where rust should be. And then I'm going to use a brush itself and come and actually brush in hard rust. So there'll be like a light stain of rust, and then I will hand paint in the hard rust. And then I think I'll coat the whole car with like a light dinge color, because the whole car in the afterlife is kind of dingy, so it's not pure white anymore. It's kind of like this brown kind of color. So I'm just going to wash the whole car with like this dirt kind of stain. So let's do that.
Alright, for this first coat of paint, all I did was add some brown, orange, and black to get kind of a dark orangey brown. And then I just used the airbrush to kind of put a rough dirt line around all the places that dirt would settle, around all the creases and under the doors and under the fenders and things like that.
Alright, so with my first coat, all I did was come in with some kind of dirt kind of color and kind of followed a lot of the seams of the vehicle. You know, around fender wells, things like that, that would be more rusty. And just kind of add a little dirt to it. Not a whole lot, keeping it light right now. Next step is I will come in with the, I'm going to come in with the actual hand painted rust. And then the last step we'll wash the whole car with a very light kind of dirt color and let it kind of run and leave watermarks and stuff like that. But so let's do the next step of hand painting in the rust, the heavy rust around all the seams and stuff.
Unfortunately, right here my camera got bumped and got off center, so you're not really able to see what I'm doing here, but I do correct this in just a second, so just bear with me here. As far as what I'm doing is I'm going in with a mixture of dark brown and orange and kind of painting in the stuff where the rust had actually rusted away all the paint. So the first airbrushing was more of just staining it, like a wide stain, and this is actually going in and putting all the little detail rust marks in. Alright, so now it is all painted, and you can see it here next to our Ecto 1 or Ecto 1A and our new Ecto. It's kind of neat to have all 3 cars from all 3 movies. I really liked how it came out, and as you notice, there's no stickers on it yet because stickers would took another 2 weeks in the mail to get here, and I wanted to get this video out now and not in 2 weeks, so you're gonna have to just see it without the stickers. Later on in a video, once I get the stickers delivered, I might just show this in another video once all the stickers are on it, but you can kind of get the idea. The look of the car is really nice. I didn't like follow the movie 100%, like look at screen grabs and make sure that every piece of rust is where it needs to be. I kind of just did it on my own, but I think it comes across pretty well. As far as the gunner seat, it works pretty well. Pops out. The doors are working a lot better now. The only thing is, if I have a figure on it, I was able to get the head clearance fixed so the heads don't clip the top of the car, but they do shoot out because there's no seat belt in the seat, so I will eventually have to get a seat belt if I want it functional with a figure on it. You can see Peter here in the gunner seat, and here's all 3 cars. So I hope you like this video, and if you guys do the same thing, let me know. I'd like to see your guys' Ectos if you do the similar thing. So bye.